got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. Uno, dos, tres, in my blue striped car. She's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah.
Hello, Diana.
I don't know why that just went.
Ah, there we go. Hello, Diana.
Hi, Davey. Yes, my special guest today is Davey, and the name of his YouTube channel is Art with a Pen, and it's linked right down at the top of the description box. So check out his channel. he's a great ink drawer. I guess you know, art with a pen. That's your favorite kind of art to do. Is that right?
I think it is, yeah. I prefer ink drawing to anything else.
Yes. He does amazing, awesome art on his channel. I think most of these people in here, they think they do already belong to your channel. And today our theme is dragon. So we're each creating our own dragon themed art. And Davey is going to do some storytelling about some storytelling about dragons because he's a great storyteller. And let's say hello to who's here. And let's say we have John H. Shelton comes to us from the UK, and I've told you about his channel before. Remember, he's a reviewer of horror movies, and he even creates his own horror movies. Hi, John. And Davey comes to us from the UK as well, our guest.
Yes, hello, John.
And Justin Malo. Justin just told me his father's a huge Dragons fan. So, hi, Justin, coming to us from Canada. Hi, Lexi. Lexi's coming to us from the Midwest. I think, where does she live now? Kansas. I think she moved to Kansas. And well, that's all there is for now. I'm sure more people will be showing up. Thank you, John H. Shelton, for sharing it on Twitter, which is now called X. Twitter's no longer called Twitter. They're called X. And that's right. Lexi says she comes from Kansas. So I'm not wearing my speech chat. I'm not wearing my headphones to listen to speech chat. So if there's a delay, I mean, I'll be just checking the chat periodically. And also I know that Davey sometimes checks the chat too. And if you think that the background is distracting, I might be changing the scene. I'm using a GIF as a background, which is a nice feature on StreamYard that if we want to use a GIF as a background. So I have these nice candles as a background, which may be a little distracting. If the audience, if you guys can vote in the chat, if you think that the GIF, which is a moving background, is kind of distracting, then you can just let us know. And so what will you be? So how do you want to start? What will you be drawing today, Davey?
I'm gonna draw or sketch, I should say, a dragon in flight. Okay, so I'm gonna have the wings, hopefully everything on the paper. If I can fit it in, it'll be a lot smaller than usual because it's the whole body, but it's going to be a dragon in flight.
Oh,
a rough sketch.
Let me highlight you. Hold on. A dragon in flight. Okay.
Yes, a sketch of a dragon in flight. Hello, Lexi. Hello, John. And hello, Justin. And hello, Grayscale.
Hi, Grayscale Painting. And what I'll be doing, which I've already started because I needed to get this started before I get on the live stream. Now I'll highlight me. What I'll be doing is something fun and simple and basic. I'm not trying to create some kind of work of art that I'm trying to sell here or anything. This is, many of you know I have a vision disability, so on camera, my head would be getting in the way all the time. If I'm trying to do details, I'd be like this, and my head would be getting in the camera. So that's why on camera, I can't. What I'm going to do is, I got a copyright-free image of a dragon. It was just all black, no details in it. And I did basic cutting out of it and glued it. And with stencils, I spray painted some designs. Through, and I'm going to keep doing things like I'm going to be working on the black background and spatter painting, and just using a lot of different stencil designs and different colors, and kind of doing it in the style of this one, a recent painting I did of this owl that everybody really liked. Hold on.
I like the look of that dragon.
trying to do it in the kind of in the style of this, where I do a lot of brushwork and spatter painting, and so we can still see the creature, but
Oh, I like that.
it's
That's very good.
yeah. This is very popular. It's going to be in my upcoming art auction, October 21 to 27, on my Facebook art auction group called Serenity Art Gallery Auction. And we're going to have 11 participating artists. And our first auction went very well. We had 8 participating artists, and everyone sold art except for 2 artists did not sell art. And 1 artist even sold out all 5 of her paintings in the auction. She sold out all 5.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I sold 3.
that is good.
I sold 3, and the other artists either sold 1 or 2. And it was a very good surprise. It was a surprising. It was my first art auction I've done on my own art auction group. I participated in other art auctions, but this was the first time that I created. I mean, I started my own art auction group, and very surprised with, and very happy and pleased with the success of it. And we, instead of doing an art auction every month, we decided we will do an art auction every other month. So this will be available in my as framed too, coming up in my upcoming Facebook art auction group called Serenity Art Gallery Auction. And so you can see this is very basic right now. You know, like it's kind of like in a, you know, art goes through an ugly stage. Have you ever do you believe in that philosophy that your art can go through an ugly stage, Davey?
I think it always does. When you first start, whatever it is you're doing, a drawing or a painting or whatever, there's always a point, and it's usually at the beginning and a little bit into the artwork creation, that it doesn't look so good. And a lot of people who,
right.
I was just going to say, if you show it to somebody that they don't know, you know, they don't know what it is and where it's going. Only you know where it's going. You know what it is. You know where it's going. But a lot of people cannot see, well, what on earth is that person drawn? Yeah. So yeah, the ugly stage of creating an artwork.
So I think the ugly stage can happen one or more times during the creative process. So oftentimes it happens at the beginning, but it can happen in the middle of the creative process, where all of a sudden your artwork can take a turn and you don't like it. But that's how my creative process often goes. It's up and down, and then I just keep going, and it's like it's problem solving. It's like not always using my logical mind either. I have to use logical mind with intuition to problem solve and figure out, like, okay, where's this painting going, and what does it need, and what does it need next, and what does it need next, and keep going with it.
Isn't that good fun? That stage where you're trying to work something out, this idea, and it changes. Isn't that great fun? I think it's good fun.
Well, I heard an interesting quote yesterday. I actually have a mentor that I've been working with for the past year. A mentor to, even though I do have a MFA, a Master's in Fine Arts, which is the highest degree you can have in the fine arts, an MFA from Maryland Institute College of Art. Even so, I keep taking. I work with a mentor for the past year to keep learning and growing. And yesterday he said something interesting, and I either work with him. I work with him in small groups, like there's small groups of us. So if there was somebody talking, we were on the subject of making mistakes, and he said, well, when I paint a color, sometimes I say, oh, that's a good color, and then he goes, and then I might paint another color, and he goes, oh, that's not working, but he'll think that's not a good color, but that's even better, because he says, if you see a lot of how the way the masters work, they build up layers and layers and layers, and all the colors, whether whether one brush stroke of color was a good color, and then the next few, and then you do another area of color, and you see, okay, that area is not working, then you don't totally obliterate it. You let some of it show through. So ultimately, you're going to have layers and layers and layers of, and so that ultimately it will harmonize together.
Yeah. I must say I don't paint that much. I do like painting, but I love looking at other people's artworks, and particularly paintings. But I only paint once in a while.
Oh yeah.
So the last painting I created must have been about, what, 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, I'm talking about the painting process, or even other kinds of art. Even handmade printing can be the same thing. But with you, I think your process is different. So you want to go ahead and get started, and Davey's gonna be telling us some stories about dragons, and
I was going to tell a story which is based up here where I live, in a place called County Durham. But the details of the story I've had to look up because there's a lot of the story I'd forgotten. Okay, it's a very old story about a dragon-like creature called the Lantern Worm. Okay, set in the Crusades.
Oh.
And it's from a place which is quite close to me, where I live, in County Durham. So I've had to look on Wikipedia to get the full accurate story, folk legend, or the myth. Yeah.
And it's a fable that
it's a fable. It's a local.
And it originated where you live.
Yep, it's a local story from the area where I live, which is Tyne and Wear. It's the north east of England, where the rain falls all the time. It's very rainy up here, and it's about someone who, called Lantern, who goes on the Crusades. Yes, and it's about this worm. It's called the Lantern Worm. So I might have to, as I'm telling the story, I might have to refer to Wikipedia.
So
just for the details.
The lantern, and I didn't get your second word. The lantern what?
The Lantern Worm.
Oh, WORM.
Yep.
Lantern worm. Oh, okay. So yeah, we usually don't associate worms with dragons.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes they're called worms, like some kind of dragon, reptile can be called a worm. Yeah. If anybody's interested in Lord of the Rings, Tolkien's War of the Rings works, like the Silmarillion, he mentions worms, and these are large reptiles, sort of dragons. So the word worm can refer to maybe a dragon. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this is the story of John Lantern. Okay, who owns the land. He's a knight, and he owns the land where this worm appears. That's the local legend or folk myth, folk story.
Wow, and it's cool that it originated in the area where you live.
Yeah, it's a very important story, local story.
Because the Crusades, because you said it also takes place during the Crusades.
It certainly does, yes. And he goes away on the Crusades, John Lantern, and this worm, as he's away for 7 years, it grows to enormous size, and it starts to destroy the local area, farms, eats the animals and some people as well. And when he returns, he's presented with this problem, the worm. So it's up to him, because he's a knight, it's up to him to dispatch the knight. to dispatch the worm or the dragon.
Okay.
But I'll have to refer to Wikipedia just for the details, okay? Because I'd forgotten quite a lot of the story. I only know the basic story. It's a well-known story up here. And funny enough, round about the same area in a place called Washington, I think I've mentioned this before on one of your live streams, Diana. But Washington, which is a town right next door to where I live, holds the ancestral home of one of your presidents, your first president, George Washington. It's his family ancestral home.
So it was the ancestral home for the
George
current.
Washington. George Washington.
Oh, okay, yeah.
His ancestral home. So way back, his family would have, his parents, I would imagine, or grandparents, would have travelled over to America. Yeah, settled in the United States way back, and left his ancestral home over here.
So our past president George Washington came from the area where you live?
Yes.
Oh.
His ancestral home, which is very interesting, and I think
But
it's still there.
not where he was born. It wasn't where he was
No,
born, right?
it wasn't where he was born, but his ancestors, his family heritage is traced back to here. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So are
I
you
think
able to draw while you tell the story?
Of course, yes. I'll tell you what, will I start the drawing? Then as I'm drawing, I'll just chat a bit and you can chat. And I'll just as I'm drawing this sketch, creating this sketch, I'll just read the Wikipedia page just to get some extra details on this story.
Okay.
Because like I said, I have forgotten some of the details. I only know the basic details. Right, well, I'll start work on this sketch. Is everybody ready?
Yes. And Grayscale corrected me that it's WYRM, not WORM.
Ah,
Dragon.
yes, a worm. Yes, that's it. Grayscale, you're absolutely right. And I think that's how it's spelt in the Tolkien works, such as I think mainly in the Silmarillion, where it's where they're mentioned. But I haven't actually read the Silmarillion. Right, here we go then. Sketch of a dragon in flight. Let's see what I can do. I think dragons must be one of the most popular mythical beasts. What do you say, Diana?
Oh yeah, what are some other mythical beasts? Mythical. Oh yeah, we're not talking about dinosaurs, but even dinosaurs are kind of related to dragons.
Yeah, they are very dinosaur, aren't they?
There were flying dinosaurs. There were dinosaurs with wings. So I mean, they're kind of related.
Yes, that's a good observation. That flying dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are have been since the bones were first discovered several hundred years ago and studied. They've always been popular, dinosaurs. So the dragon is an extremely popular mythical beast.
Yeah. So when I taught elementary school art for 25 years, dinosaurs, I did have, teach about dinosaurs and art, and because kids were fascinated by dinosaurs, and because there was dinosaurs, swimming dinosaurs that lived on the land, and then flying dinosaurs. And then I would teach dragons in relation to Chinese New Year and teach them a base. I taught them the most basic way to draw dragons, which is start with a snake shape, but kind of like a snake shape that was bigger around the middle, and that was an easy way to teach a dragon, like a basic dragon. But also I think 1 or 2 years I taught them how to make paper mache dragons, and that was cool.
Oh, I bet that was good fun. Paper mache dragons in three dimensions.
Okay, so you said you have to research what you're talking about.
I'm just getting a little bit of details on the story, so I might have to, as I'm telling it, I'll have to refer to the actual Wikipedia
Wikipedia. I think it's called Wikipedia.
Page. It was a bit of a tongue twister there. Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So there we go. So the tale of the lantern worm is a very it was a very popular folk story involving a guy called John Lantern. Okay.
Yeah.
So it says here, it's set. John Lantern was a very rebellious character, and apparently missed church. Now there's a moral to this story that if you look into this story, there's a few messages, or a major message that it actually gives that's hidden in the story, because he misses church and he goes fishing. Okay. In the River Weir, which is not too far from me. So there's several different versions of the story, okay, about this. But
okay.
Yeah. So he catches the small eel-like creature, okay. It's quite small, right? It's like it's got like a salamander's head, it says here on the Wikipedia page. So and what he does, I think he throws this worm creature, this salamander or eel creature that he catches in the river, down the well. Okay. Yeah. And he forgets that the creature's actually there. He forgets about it, this strange creature that he's caught in the river.
Huh.
Yeah. So he grows up and what have you. And I think he goes on a crusade when he gets older. Yeah, the Crusades. So he's a knight. Yeah. And eventually, sorry, yeah, goes on the Crusades. And what happens is the local people of County Durham, where John Lantern comes from, notices that livestock is going missing. Cows and sheep and goats are starting to go missing, and they don't know where they're going or who's taking it or what's taking these animals, yeah, the livestock. So what happens is the worm starts to terrorize nearby villages, eating the sheep, killing the cows, eating the cows, and what have you. So this is the livelihood of all of the local people is going up in smoke here. It's disappearing. Now a number of villagers tried to kill it because it's grown extremely large, and it's also apparently poisonous at this stage. It becomes poisonous. But it kills the villagers. So this is a very nasty creature, this worm. Okay. And apparently it can regenerate. It's in one of the stories, it can regenerate its own limbs like a salamander. Yeah,
It can regenerate what?
its own limbs. So maybe
Oh.
one of its legs gets cut off, it can grow
Oh.
it back. And I think that's what some salamanders can do. Or all salamanders, they have this quality of
Oh,
regrowing.
I didn't know salamanders could do that.
Yeah, so some reptiles can do it as well. So after 7 years, John Lambton returns from the Crusades, okay, to find his father's estates totally destitute. This thing has been rampaging across County Durham, his father's estate, killing villagers, killing the sheep, as I've just said, and causing mayhem. Okay. So he's got to try and stop this thing. Yeah, he's got to try and stop this worm. So what he does, he covers his armor in spearheads to fight the worm in the River Wear. Yeah, where it now spends a lot of time wrapped around a great rock. Okay, it wraps itself around a great rock in the river. So he attaches spearheads to his armor. So he's got spiky armor. And he attacks the worm. Okay. So he fights the worm in the river. And the worm tries to crush him. It wraps itself around John Lambton. Okay. But it cuts itself on his armor. Because remember, he's attached spikes, spearheads to his armor. So pieces of the worm start to fall off into the river because the spearheads are slicing parts of its body off, but it cannot regenerate. And all of these bits are floating down the river and away into the sea. And eventually the worm, or the dragon, if you want to call it a dragon, because it's a form of dragon, gets killed. Okay. So he kills the dragon. And John Lambton blows on his hunting horn 3 times to celebrate the death of the worm. John Lambton, the knight from the Crusades, has killed the worm. Okay. Now there's a sad ending to this, right? There's a Lambton curse. A curse befalls John Lambton. Now I'm going to read this from the Wikipedia section, okay? Because this is the part where I couldn't really remember, okay? Unfortunately, John's father is so excited that the beast is dead that he forgets to release the hounds and rushes out to congratulate his son. John cannot bear to kill his father. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute, I've skipped ahead. I think I've gotten myself ahead of the story here. This is the part where I cannot, which I forgot about. The curse of Lambton. He releases some hounds, yeah, to kill his father, because I think he's got to kill his father at some time. I think everybody who's in the chat here, if you're interested in this story, I would go to the wiki page because it's a very interesting story, and it's a great legend, local legend. Okay. Now I've gotten mixed up with this story because Lambton, it says, has to kill his father. He releases the hounds, which kill his father. This is the curse, right? But it's too late, and there's a curse befalls the nine generations of the Lambtons. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was too late in killing his father. Okay, I've missed a section of the story here. So apparently the curse seems to have held true for the last 3 generations, possibly helping, so it says here, to contribute to the popularity of the story. Now, the first generation, Robert Lambton, drowned. Okay, he died by drowning. In the second generation of the Lambtons, Sir William Lambton, a colonel, was killed at Marston Moor. The third generation Lambton died in the Battle of Wakefield, and the 9th generation of the Lambtons, Henry Lambton, died in his carriage crossing the Lambton Bridge in 1761. So a few of the Lambtons there met with some bad deaths, terrible deaths. But for anybody who's interested in this folk tale, which has been going around for quite a few hundred years, set in County Durham, northeast of England, the Lambton worm, or the dragon, which wrapped itself around a rock and was killed by the Crusader John Lambton. Check it out on Wikipedia and you can get the full story. So that's the only tale I really know concerning what I would say is a dragon.
Well, I have a question that maybe I missed it, but the dragon never came back to life?
No, it was cut to pieces in the river when it was fighting John Lambton, and the pieces flowed away into the sea. So it couldn't generate itself fast enough, and it was cut to pieces because he had attached spearheads to his armor. So that is an old folk tale of a dragon, about a dragon. Yeah, a large reptile, which is also known as a worm. Okay, a worm.
Are all dragons known as also worms?
I think it's an old word for an alternate word for a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, a large snake-like beast, reptilious beast.
Oh, so, and when we were trying to think of other fantastical creatures, Grayscale mentioned griffin and phoenix.
Oh, yes.
Griffin, phoenix,
Yes.
and fawn. A fawn?
The what?
I know.
Let's have a look.
A fawn.
Ooh,
F-A-W-N. Fawn.
A fawn, yes. Is the fawn now? This creature, the fawn, is that the creature that's found in the book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Yeah.
Is he a fawn, Mr. Somebody? I can't remember his name. Maybe he's a fawn. So it's a humanoid. It's a human with little small horns and hoofs. Instead of feet, he's got hooves. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, thank you for telling us that story. So
yeah, a Loga legend about
it brought bad luck to his family to kill that
it did
creature.
Cursed the next 9 generations of the Lambtons. So it was a curse, a family curse. I think he had to. I think when he got help, Lambton got some help or some advice or whatever, and he had to repay it by killing his father, I think. But he forgot about it. He left it too late to kill him. I think that's what it says on the Wikipedia page.
So I just thought like the thing would somehow come back to life or something.
Yeah, well, that's what it was doing. It was regenerating. Or that it would
regenerate, like all those pieces might regenerate into something.
Yeah. So it was very difficult to kill it. Yeah. There was a movie. Dragons are featured in several movies, of course, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was a movie made which was based on a book by Bram Stoker. Okay, now, if everybody, I don't know if anybody knows Bram Stoker. Hello, Gus Wiener. Gus Wiener is in the
Yeah.
chat.
Hi, Goswina. Coming to us from the Netherlands. Welcome.
The Netherlands, yes.
Bram Stoker's he
Yeah.
was an actor or what? He was
Well,
he
he
was
was a
connected
writer.
with horror movies, right? Horror.
Well, he wrote Dracula.
Oh
Bram
yeah,
Stoker.
he wrote
Yeah.
Dracula.
He wrote
Okay.
Dracula.
And speaking of Dracula, everybody, Davey is going to be my co-host once a month for a once a month live stream that will happen usually on the last Thursday of every month. But next month, Halloween falls on a Tuesday. So we will be having our next live stream right on Halloween day or night, depending where you live in the world. It'll be 2 p.m. No, I think it's good. No, it's going to start at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so keep a heads up. Yeah, we're going to have a really cool Halloween live stream next month. And then in November and probably the last Thursday of the month, the theme is going to be fairies, because I started a fairy art journal a few years ago, and I created the cover on it. It's like 3-dimensional cover on it, and it's made of watercolor paper. It's a watercolor paper art journal, and so I'll share some of that, and the theme will be fairies. And after that, we don't know what the themes will be. But once a month, the last week of someday in the last week of every month, usually it'll be on a Thursday. Yeah, Davey will be my co-host for one of our always be a themed live stream. So we look forward to doing that and seeing you here. Oh, yeah.
That's going to be good fun.
Yeah.
It's always good fun joining you on these live streams once in a while.
Yeah.
And I think it keeps you on your toes. Creating art live.
Well, for me,
It's good
yeah,
fun.
I guess so. I don't know, but at least I mean, I used to do live streams once a week. Now I'm doing live streams once a month because I'm stepping away from YouTube a little bit, because I've been on YouTube for 7 years, and for 7 years I have not been doing live streaming. I've been live streaming since March of 2019. March of 2019 is when I started live streaming, and I've been pretty much live streaming once or more times a week since 2019. And it was only in August that I started I stopped doing weekly live streams. And so
That's quite some time, 7 years. I wonder how long.
7 years on YouTube. Yes, it was 7 years that I pretty much consistently. I did take 9 months off within those 7 years. One time I took 9 months off and didn't know if I'd come back to YouTube, but I did. But in those 7 years, I pretty much have been creating content weekly content. And then now, finally, after 7 years, it's the weekly content I might create are shorts and something, but
yes,
maybe a video once or twice a month, and shorts like maybe 2 or 3 times a month. And I'm probably doing, and then a live stream one of the days of the last week of every month now.
Yeah. I think YouTube, like we've been chatting about, can be very frustrating at times, and it can put you off. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So it is best to take a little break, maybe, or just step back a little bit and recharge your batteries and come back to it, maybe. But a lot of people do, like on YouTube, they take breaks, I've noticed.
Yeah, even really successful YouTubers, I've seen them take. I was following because I love ASMR, because it helps me. It helps me relax, to be able to sleep and stuff. And there was this one ASMR channel. She's an Asian woman, and she has like She has 2 million subscribers. I saw she took 7 months off one time.
Whoa, that's a long time.
7 or 8 months she did.
That is a long time. There's some artists, you know, on YouTube who are absolutely fantastic, and they pack it in quite quickly. Some of the channels that I've subscribed to.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Laura. Laura's in the chat there. Hello, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
So some of these artists, even after a short period of time, they're fantastic. Some of them.
See, now I think you got to find a platform that works for you. I gave YouTube 7-year shot, and I followed all the YouTube experts. I even took a year-long recently. I paid for a year-long course on how to improve on YouTube this past year, and I just concluded that I gave it my all. I pretty much gave YouTube my all, and not getting the reward or return from it that for all the work I put into it. So I had to step back and refocus and redirect my energy into something else. And I did give it my all, but I can't keep 3 pieces of content every week. Keep going. Like I was doing that for a video, a live stream every week for a few years.
That's a lot of work.
And it goes up and down, and it'd be, oh yeah, this video just did really good. Oh yeah, let's make some more of that related that content. Let's follow the YouTube experts and da 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 da. And it's like, and then I had to step away from it. After now, I think some people can do wonderful on YouTube. That's for whatever reason they can do, and they can do really well. But I don't think it's spelled out. I don't think it's like 2 + 2 = 4, and you're going to do well on YouTube now.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be one set piece of advice that everybody could.
Like I just said, in the past year, I actually paid for this weekly membership to learn all these things on how to get better on YouTube, and it did not make significant difference. So I've been trying to always learn and grow. I've always been trying to learn and grow to be a better content creator, but it just 2 + 2 just doesn't always equal 4. It's just like some people can get their platform and they can do well on YouTube, and others can't, even though you try your hardest and you did all these things so
it's one of those things, isn't it? It's a strange thing, YouTube. I can tell you that. It's very strange how it works. I've looked at advice on YouTube. There's a few channels that give advice constantly, and they tend to repeat the videos once in a while. How to gain more views on YouTube, how to get the most watch time on YouTube, and all of this. But it doesn't work, like you said. It doesn't work for everybody.
It doesn't. And I was consistent. For years. But YouTube changes, and like you have to go with the flow, and YouTube changes, and then you have to change. And I tried, and it's whether you can resonate with an audience.
That's it.
Whether you can attract and resonate with an audience. And there's this other kind of thing where actually YouTube is the biggest search engine. I only ever use YouTube because I'm searching for how to do something. That's how I ever got into YouTube, because I was just searching. And then a lot of people get tons and tons of views on their videos if they do really kind of how to step by step, and it's a very searchable kind of content. If it's very searchable, like people are searching how to do this, how to do that. And if you create videos that are very how to, and they're well done so that they really explain something they're how to do. But then there's the other kind of content creator that it's based on their personality. It's based on that. It's like, so they're creating content like, so I did try to create a lot of how-to videos, how to do acrylic painting, how to do this, all kinds of different kind of how-to step-by-step in art, and still still didn't do and still didn't do that well. And then one of my videos, I got 5,000. One of my how-to acrylic paintings early on did get like 5,000 views, and I did
That's
a
good.
series. I did a series. I was consistent. I did a series on how to do this, how to do that, and it's like, well, no, I never got 5,000 views again. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't know why. I was being consistent. I was doing step by step, show you how to do this, and for whatever reason, I don't know what. And you can do everything they say you should do and still not do well on YouTube
it's
for
crazy, isn't
whatever
it?
reasons.
From what I can gather, there doesn't seem to be a particular plan that works. I think there's a lot of different things, a lot of different
A lot
variables.
of different moving parts.
Yes, a lot of different moving parts. That's a good explanation. But it can be very frustrating if you're trying to build a channel. But I think it's good fun. I do get a lot of enjoyment out of creating the videos and creating the drones, because it does make me draw. YouTube makes me draw.
So I did create. The reason why so often I did create videos is I actually love video editing. I actually love doing that.
Yes,
So
you enjoy
I'd
that,
be
yeah?
like, oh, I love creating videos, and like I want to improve my videos, and I try to improve my videos and try different
Yeah.
things, and I actually love creating videos but
It would be good fun if you could, if a lot of hello, James.
hi
James has
James.
joined the chat.
Hello James.
Laura says, people have very short attention spans nowadays. I come from a time where watching quality over quantity is what matters. I think there's some truth in there, what Laura says
There's some
about
truth to
attention
that.
spans, because the shorts seem to be,
Shorts.
and you can really, people flip through those shorts.
I don't do that. I'm not a shorts watcher. My husband he watches Instagram. He loves watching Instagram. That's his platform that he likes to. He'll
Right.
spend every day scrolling through those whatever the reels with the reels on Instagram. He
Yes.
doesn't watch shorts, but he prefers reels. And yes,
Yeah.
he's one of those people who just scroll through and scroll. I don't. I like creating shorts, but
Yes.
and I'm not one of those people who will spend any kind of time scrolling through TikTok or anything. I'm there like as a content creator. Like I like creating it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm not one of those people that just go like scroll through short speed or reel speed for entertainment. I don't do that.
I understand why, I can understand why they're addictive. Those shorts, whatever platform you're on, TikTok, YouTube. Obviously, YouTube's in competition with all of the other platforms,
Yes.
TikTok and what have you.
Oh yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. TikTok. That's why YouTube started shorts, because TikTok was eating YouTube's lunch.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
That's why. I know that from YouTube. Many YouTube experts that's why YouTube started doing shorts, because a lot of people were going over to TikTok instead of being on YouTube.
Yes. So they had to compete. And it seems to be successful as well. But I can understand why the people look at these shorts, because they can be very addictive when you get into a flow. And a lot of these shorts are very entertaining. Yeah, and you're flipping from one to the other. And if you don't like one, because it's a short. If you don't like it, you just flip through it and says, "Well, I'm not going to."
How about you? Do you do that? Do you watch shorts?
I have looked at some. Now, if I do that right on YouTube, which I have several times, I found that I spend more time than I planned to spend. on the shorts. Or let's have a look at this short. So you see something that looks quite funny or amusing or something that interests you. So you'll click on it, right? But then I found myself, I'll just scroll down, see what the next one is. And it's got you. YouTube Shorts has got you once you do that. And you can spend a lot more time once it hooks you looking through those videos. Lexi, okay. Lexi says, I can't stand the shorts. I am usually multitasking as I watch, and I can't be stopping to pick a new short every 45 seconds.
All right.
Yes. That's a good point there. Laura said, like real-time videos, real-time tutorials, and seeing how the artist shares their thoughts.
Right.
That's good. That's something I don't do, you know, and I don't think I'm very good at it, to be honest with you. Presenting and talking about what you're doing. I can do it a little bit, but some of these other artists are absolute expert at it, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, I tried. I've tried many times, and I guess whatever. And I never could get I could never attract a very big audience or views or anything. I try. It was like beating my head against the wall. I just keep trying. I mean, I would try to learn and grow and get better, but I mean, I like I said, I followed so many YouTube experts and all this stuff, and my last hurrah was that I paid for a year long how to get better on YouTube and membership, and where they were teaching us week by week, giving us weekly content on how to improve. And that's like my last hurrah. Like, okay, you know,
I noticed
I'm
something.
changing directions. I'm just changing. I'm just gonna YouTube's just I'm not gonna give YouTube all my energy. Like I'm not, so I'll give it some energy, but I'm putting my energy other places now, and not just all into YouTube.
Right. Guswina said, I try the best I can do in my videos.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've noticed. Now, what was I going to say there? Yes, that was it. Thumbnails. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was. Now, what is it again? Oh, what's the name? Tags. That's it. Tags. Now, quite a while ago.
Tags. I don't use tags anymore.
Tags. Right.
YouTube experts will tell you tags are the least significant thing to even put in your videos anymore.
Exactly.
They say only do it because YouTube allows you to put tags in. Go ahead, do it because they allow you to do it. But really, it's like the least significant thing anymore to have tags in your videos. It's more important about the title and what you write in your description box.
Well, this is a lot of other things. Right.
And there's two things. There's your thumbnail. There's watch time. Okay, first of all, you got to get somebody to click on your thumbnail. Then after that, it's how long, what's the watch time? How long are they going to stay watching? And then I learned all these different ways, like, in the first 30 seconds, in the first 15 seconds, have a hook, do this, do that. Then how are you going to engage the viewer to keep watching all the way to the end? My watch time consistently for 7 years is like terrible. It's like the hockey stick. If you look on your graph, it's the hockey stick. Like, it's the dreaded hockey stick. Like, that you first watch it, and then you see how it drops down, and then curves into nothing. It's the hockey stick. I have the dreaded hockey stick and even though I tried so many times, like increase engagement, increase watch times, like.
Yeah, that's it. But that was going to be my point, right? What you said about the tags. Because a while ago, several years ago, they pushed tags in these advice videos.
That's true.
Get your tags in. Put those tags in. Learn how to do that in the advice videos that you clicked on.
I know.
But now, like you have said, Diana, now all of a sudden tags don't matter. Now that's irritating. Things like that really irritate me. They're selling something, an idea, and then all of a sudden it's redundant.
Well, anyway, I would have to say that that's in any industry, like even in education.
Yeah,
Education
I
was
think it
changing
is.
all the time too. You one or 2 years, oh, this thing in teaching, it's very important that you teach like this and this teaching strategy, and that we're going to do this, and this is very important. And then 2 years later, that's less important. Now something new is important.
Yes. It's crazy, isn't it? So the thing that they're
I'll say what my
suggesting,
mother said my whole life. It is what it is.
yeah, it's crazy stuff. But I think I'm trying to be a bit more regular in creating videos. That's what I'm trying. That's what my mission is at the minute. Just trying to put a video out every week or every 2 weeks. So maximum length of time would be 2 weeks. That's my plan anyway.
My plan
Laura,
is I'm not creating any more new videos. I have 1,100 videos that I've created, and that includes live streams, videos, and shorts in
that's a
7
lot.
years.
Whoa.
What I do now is repurpose. I repurpose like for shorts. I haven't uploaded a video in a while after being consistent for years. I'm stepping away from YouTube.
Yeah.
But what I do
Right.
now is the easiest thing to repurpose are shorts. So I repurpose shorts.
Yes. That's good.
At least I'm not trying to upload any new video recently, but I'm just doing shorts and live streams for now.
Yeah.
Just trying to not leave YouTube altogether. I'm just that's
Yes.
what I'm trying not to do, leave YouTube altogether after 7 years of trying really hard. So.
Yep. So just keep it in there. Keep it a link with YouTube, yeah?
Yeah.
But not producing as much and focusing on the shorts. I think I'm trying to, you see, I can't, with the shorts, I'm currently trying to think of something that, can I say the word, what is catchy? Something catchy.
I'm
And
just so disillusioned with the shorts. I can't believe it. I was doing well with shorts, and then April, something changed, and something changed with the algorithm, or something changed with how many, maybe they're flooded with shorts now, but I was getting 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 views on my shorts, and sometimes every now and then getting 6,000 or 7,000 views on a short. But on a regular basis, I could get 500 to 1,000, 2,000 views on a short. And I was like, okay, I know this time of day is the right time of day, and it's going to do. And then all of a sudden something happened in April, and it's like all of a sudden I'm lucky now if I get 50 views on a short. And I even took a short that got 2,000 views. I have put that short up again, and it still doesn't even get 50 views.
Right.
Tell me what is up with that. And I think it has something to do with and I even watched a shorts expert recently. He said, make sure you have text in the beginning of your video. You should have text all throughout your short. So I did that. I'm lucky if I get 50 views. Something is very weird with shorts algorithm, that it goes from 1,000, 2,000 views to you can't get 50.
Yeah. Goswina's just typed in some very bad news concerning her hometown or city. Yeah. It just states that today there was a terrible news, some terrible news in my city. There was a shooting in a big hospital. So I'll have to have a look on the news for that. I'll look at some news outlets.
I'm sorry to hear that, guys. Guess what? We have some really bad news in the city. I don't live in the city, but the biggest nearby city, Philadelphia. I don't live in Philadelphia. I'm living in the Philadelphia suburbs, but in Philadelphia, in response to some kind of I don't know if it was some kind of police shooting that happened, that whatever. In response to that, hundreds of people ransacked Apple stores and high-end fashion stores and Apple stores and ransacked them and stole everything and destroyed them.
Yes, they've been doing that in London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These people are, you know what? This is like a, how can I say? It's like a plague. And these are people who organize themselves into groups, large groups, to ransack and attack stores.
Yeah.
These people are destroying their own community because these stores will shut. Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
destroying their own families.
Yeah, and what
Basically
sense does that
lifestyle,
make? What sense
ultimately.
does that make?
But these are organized attacks on stores by groups of people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
And they're all on
sad.
film. They're all being filmed. Yeah.
What? They're being filmed. Oh, they're all being
Yes,
filmed. Is that what you
all of
said?
these people are on film
Yeah.
ransacking the stores. I just watched one today on concerning London. I think it was Luton. I'm not too sure. Was it Luton? No, it wasn't. It was somewhere. It was a district of London. Groups of youths organised into attack groups, looting a shop, a large store. I'm going to have to watch the news later on, Goswina. Apparently it happened in the city of Rotterdam. Yeah. Goswina is from Holland, the Netherlands. So I'll check that out and see what's happened. What
Well,
are
I guess we got way off the topic of dragons
we certainly did. I'm going to ask a question for everybody.
into
And you, Diana, can I ask a question?
Yes.
The question is to everybody in chat. And if anybody's rewatching this, yeah, after it goes live. So this is the question. What is your favorite mythical creature? Type it in the chat. Diana, what is your favorite mythical creature?
Well, first I have. Oh, let me think. Wait a minute. Hold on. Fairies.
Fairies. So that's your favorite mythical creature?
Yeah.
That's good. Now Laura says dragon. So she's a dragon fan as well. And I'm going to have to agree with Laura. That's my favorite. But with fairies as well. Dragons and fairies. Do you know what? I should have done a sketch of a fairy riding a dragon.
Oh, that would be cute.
That would have been more interesting. So Lord has his fairies and dragons. Anybody else? Goswina. And anybody else who's hey, they arrested one gay of 32, a gay man of 32, and a woman 400 kilometers before in her house. And get a 16-year-old child after setting the house on fire. And father was going to the hospital and kill one man there. Right, this sounds like a tragic affair here in Rotterdam. So I'm going to have a look at that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that, Goswina.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Laura, for that. Now, Lexi says, I love sea serpents, even though I'm not that into land dragons. So sea serpents for Lexi. There's a few sea serpent tails.
And then I like mermaids.
Mermaids are very popular.
Yeah, they're very popular.
Now there's one, sea serpents, Lexi said. Now, there's an old Norse myth about the world serpent, which is a worm. Okay, another worm. I don't know if you know about the world serpent that wraps itself around the world. And Thor goes fishing in the sea and actually nearly catches the world serpent, but it's too big. It's an old Norse myth involving Thor and the world serpent, which is a gigantic, immense sea serpent. Goswina said, I like a lot of fantasy things. That's good.
Yeah, a lot of my art is fantasy art.
Yes.
Of a figure interacting with nature, like you know, holding the bird in the hand, or the woman that has butterfly wings, or
I can see, yes, looking at your art, I can see that you like, now that you've mentioned it, the fairy.
I haven't always been that way. I've done tons. I'm a lifelong artist. I started taking art seriously at age 14, and have 3 college degrees in art and taught art for 25 years. And so my art is I've not done the same thing my whole life. I've gone through all kinds of phases with my art and created all kinds of art.
That's awesome. You've done a lot. You've done a lot more than me.
I've dedicated I've dedicated my life to art because it's just because it just interested in me the most.
VS Sparks, Diana. Oh, sorry. VS Speaks Royalty.
Oh, hi, Mrs. B.
VS Speaks Royally.
Yeah.
Hello, Serenity Studio Art and everybody in the chat. Hello, VS Speaks.
Nice to see you here. Hi, Mrs. V. She's a big fan of my happy dance. I think we need a happy dance right now.
Go for it.
Hold on. Let's see. We need a happy dance now. Hit it. Hit it. Laura, you don't. I have 6 versions of a happy dance. Here's another version. 2 versions. I have 4 more different versions of Happy Dances.
That was a good happy dance. I don't know if anybody noticed me in that happy dance. I was in there. I was the guy with the white pants. Dancing to the side. So next time you watch it, watch out for the guy with the white pants. That's me. Dancing. So there we go. Now it's going to be very interesting to see what you come up with for the fairy themed.
I'm going to share my fairy art journal, and
Right.
I'll show you things I've already created. And the cover is special too because it's partly 3-dimensional relief, and then so I'll be doing something better than what I'm doing with the dragon. I don't know.
That's good. What you're doing there is really good.
Oh, thank you.
Using the stencils.
Now I think I need some darks in the skin. Now I'm going to get some dark paint out.
Stencils. I think stencils are good fun. And
I have a huge collection of stencils. Oh my goodness, I love using stencils to supplement, to add interest and pattern in my art, and I have a huge collection of stencils.
It's good fun using stencils. You can really build up a texture.
You use stencils?
I've used stencils in the past.
Oh, you have?
I borrowed my friend, my good old friend Mark Richardson, owned an airbrush. Okay, an aerograph airbrush.
Yes, I have spray paint. I have indoor spray paint I can use with my stencils.
Ah, right.
So I have the choice of using indoor spray paint or I use this makeup sponge.
Well, I borrowed that airbrush. He loaned us the airbrush that he owned. He said, "Dave, you've got to try this airbrush out. It's great."
Yeah.
So I used some stenciling with the airbrush, and that was good fun.
Yeah, but I thought you have to have like a big setup for it.
You've got to have an air supply.
Yeah, air supply.
So a compressor's good. A compressor's handy. You can buy canisters of air.
Yes. Now I've used canned air.
Canned air, yeah.
On a marker.
I used that.
Yes, with the marker, and it sprays the ink. It sprays the ink with the canned air. I've never used a straight out airbrush because I thought, oh my God, you have to have the whole setup for it.
Yes. Thank you once again, Laura, for that. Thank you. I hope you like it. I hope you've been enjoying this.
Yes, thank you.
I've got a little bit more to do.
Everybody for being here.
Right, my father brought in a large tire, a car tire, car wheel, and it was inflated, and he rigged it up for us to use the car tire on the airbrush, and that worked a little bit.
Wait, so he used the air from a top. Wait, he used the air from a tire?
Yes, he rigged something up.
Oh.
Yeah, that I could use it from a car tire. So that was good.
Interesting.
This is a long time ago. This is like 30 years ago. This.
Like in the 70s or 80s?
I would say late 90s, 97. But airbrushes are good, and stencils are fantastic. You're building up that texture very well. And you can use all sorts of stuff by the looks of it. Concerning stencils, lots of things. Which can create texture. Goswina said she made a lot of stencils
Oh, that's hard making stencil. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't prefer to make stencils, but if you can, oh, well, if you had to cut them with an X-Acto knife, I feel like that'd be so hard, especially me with my vision disability. But I've heard the Cricut machines, you can make your own stencils.
Ah, sounds interesting. I used to make a sort of I don't know if anybody's familiar with screen printing.
Yeah,
I've done a lot
silk
of,
screen printing. I learned silk screen printing when I was like 14, 15 years old. That was the first kind of printmaking I ever did, was silk screen printing. With
right.
yes,
So
oh, that's right. I did create my own stencil, but it was simple. Yes, I created my own stencil, and then you had to
for the screen printing, yeah.
yeah, and then I did silk screen. I learned silk screen printing. Yeah.
Now I've done that as well, Diana. I did enjoy screen printing. It was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but cutting the stencils out was very, I found it very tricky. Yeah,
I don't
it
remember
takes a
back
lot.
then. I didn't have my vision disability because I didn't. I had completely normal vision most of my life, but
Yes.
so I don't. Back then, I don't. When I was a teenager, then, so I don't remember that was the. I don't remember that being a problem. But
Oh, for me it was. I thought, oh dear me,
huh.
I had to really concentrate. I remember. But stencils are good. I'm going on to the wing now. I'm just shading in very gently the wing of the dragon. So a few people's typed in the chat some of their favourite fantasy mythical creatures. What about unicorns? I'm surprised no one's typed in a unicorn.
Oh yeah, I know. See, if you gave me a whole list of them, then I could pick out the ones I like. Yes,
Yes,
and
unicorns.
the unicorn. And somebody did say Pegasus. Somebody had
Oh,
mentioned
Pegasus, yes.
Pegasus earlier.
Those Greek mythological creatures. They're good. They're really good.
And then there's a
Thank you, Goswina.
centaur. The centaur. And I'm Sagittarius. That's what a centaur is.
Sagittarius, yes, centaur.
Sagittarius is a centaur.
That's a great creature, mythological creature from Greek myth. Thank you so much, Goswina. Now that would be an idea, wouldn't it? Doing a series of videos on mythical creatures.
Oh, that could be one, like maybe because we know where we're doing October and November, so maybe that now we have something for a future month.
Yeah, mythical creatures.
Oh yeah, mythical creatures.
The phoenix as well. The phoenix is a great one.
Right.
Rising from the ashes.
Yeah, I like what the phoenix stands for.
Yes.
Rising from the ashes.
Yes. Rises from the ashes. Very good. I'm trying to think of some other mythical creatures. There's a lot of them. There is a lot.
I know. All I have to do is Google it, and they'll give you the whole list.
By the way, I've got a bunch of fairy stories. Okay.
Fairy stories.
Yeah, a few fairies. Or descriptions of certain kinds of fairies. Okay, which are very interesting. And some of them very funny. And some of them very, very, very creepy. Because there's some nasty fairies as well. Oh, now Laura. Laura, I'm glad you've mentioned that. She says, she's just typed in Laura.
Inktober.
Yes. Anybody participating in Inktober? I've always wanted to participate in that.
I don't think I ever have. Well, the ink that I do like is markers. I do like, but the markers that I like best are acrylic paint markers. So I don't know if you.
Right.
Paint markers aren't considered ink, right? Oh, my favorite kind of ink to paint with? Alcohol inks. Oh my goodness. I spent a couple years painting alcohol ink paintings, and I sold a lot of them in my Etsy shop.
Right. Alcohol ink.
Alcohol ink is
Alcohol
my
based.
favorite ink to use in art. Alcohol ink. I need
Right.
I either have to have ventilation when I paint with alcohol inks or wear a ventilation mask, because those alcohol ink fumes will give me a severe headache all the time. So
Yeah, I can imagine. I can certainly imagine that.
Yeah, and I used to do live streams where I was painting with alcohol inks all the time, and also I painted with alcohol inks for a few years, and then I haven't. Oh yeah, most recently I did fire. I painted with fire and my alcohol inks on ceramic tiles. I have a video of that. Yes, I have a couple videos of that. In fact, that's one of my more popular videos, is painting with fire and alcohol ink on ceramic tiles.
Right. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Now
I'll send you the link for it. I have 2 videos on it. I have 2 and some shorts. I have some shorts on. I took clips from but I have 2 full-length videos. They're like 8 or 10-minute videos showing my process, and then I made shortened versions in my shorts. But yeah, I'll send you if I can remember, I'll send you links for my alcohol ink to painting with fire.
That's awesome. I'm going to watch that. Thank you so much, Diana. Now, Laura, just to answer Laura, anyone participating in Inktober? Yes, I am. I'm going to take part in Inktober. I'm going to do an Inktober. I'm going to do several videos, but I'm not going to post every day. I'm going to post once a week with every day's, with that week's Inktober artworks. And she also asks Laura, and she also asks Laura, what does she say? Yes, is using a regular Micron pen okay, Davey? Yes, I would say so. Anything pen, anything with ink. So I would imagine
alcohol ink painting, right?
That would be. I don't know about that.
Oh, that would not, because that's ink.
Yeah, it's got to be ink.
I know, alcohol ink. That's what it is. It's called alcohol ink. But you
alcohol
paint with
ink
it.
Is yes, that would be okay.
With it.
Yeah, that would be okay.
Here's some of my alcohol ink paintings. Okay, I'm going to show you little videos. My Etsy ad for my alcohol ink paintings.
Right.
Here we go. Here's a preview of new original paintings of mine available now in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box and in the channel banner. These are ceramic tile coasters. Here we see shades of violet, blue, aqua green, and metallic gold. These are nice neutrals, shades of brown, and metallic gold, and they are protected with varnish and UV protection with cork backing. This is one of the largest paintings in my Etsy shop, 16 by 20 inches, a beautiful red bloom. Oh, a beautiful hummingbird on 8.5 by 11 inch paper. That's alcohol ink. Ocean Flight, 11 by 14 inches, available 11 by 14 inches on paper. Koi Pond, it's ready for framing. This is, I think, a zebrafish, some kind of exotic fish, alcohol ink on paper, which could be in any room, but very nice for a nursery. Here's one of my newest paintings, which are abstract flowers, and in shades of periwinkle, violet, and different shades of green. All of these items and beautiful creations can be easily found in my Etsy shop. Channel members get discounts. Please contact me for the coupon codes. Every single one of those was alcohol ink.
That was good. I like those.
Thank you.
What was the black and white fish? Was that a zebrafish?
Yeah, that was a zebrafish. Yeah, and that was That was alcohol ink. So that was alcohol ink on ceramic tiles as well as alcohol ink on
Right.
the paper. You have to use non-absorbent paper. So I paint on a special photo paper, Kirkland
All right.
photo paper, because it does not have the logo on the matte side. Anyway, I took an alcohol ink painting class, and that was so it's you have to paint with alcohol ink on non-absorbent paper. So we paint on Kirkland photo paper.
All right. That one of my favourites there that you showed was the zebrafish one. I
You
really
like
like
that?
Did you sell that one?
No.
I'm very surprised because it's a very striking image.
Yeah.
The zebrafish. I think
Oh,
Goswina has just asked
can you
asked
make a
a
space in
request.
your Facebook with a theme for fantasy where we can put fantasy paintings in for October? What? Diana, you can make a space in your Facebook. You mean my art auction? Yes, the theme for my Facebook art auction is mystical magic. So that does include fantasy, mystical magic, but that's a good idea for so I like to keep them more open-ended and saying fantasy, but that does include fantasy because our mystical magic would include fantasy.
That's good. Diana, can I have a 1 minute or 2 minute break, please?
Okay. Yeah,
I just
Davey.
need to nip into the kitchen for a couple of minutes. Yeah, I will be right back.
Okay, we might be taking
A little break.
a break with a intermission video. Here's one of my intermission videos. Here we go. About how I'm open for doing art commissions.
Hello friends, welcome to my studio. This video is an announcement to let you know I am doing and I am open for painting commissions. That means I am taking your painting requests. I'm most interested in doing fantasy type scenery and or fantasy type portraits. For example, this is an example of how my friend requested this, of him riding a dinosaur with Lilu Dallas with a volcanic fiery landscape in the background and a Wizard of Oz flying monkey and a rainbow. And so if you can think up fantasy imagery or a scene like that, that is the kind of requests I'm most interested in working on. My email address is down in the description box. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm most interested. I mean, I prefer working in digital art, but also I will do acrylic paintings on canvas. And my digital art is available as G-clay prints on gallery wrapped canvas. Maybe you might imagine of yourself as a Japanese samurai princess or samurai warrior. This one I just created for my own wedding anniversary. So my email address is the way to contact me. Please contact me by my email address, which is down in the description box below. Art is the gift that keeps on giving. These are great gift ideas for anniversary, weddings, birthdays, graduation. This one was inspired by the galaxy, and it's called Dance of Soul, and a figure dancing through the galaxy. So I love doing fantasy scenes like this and or fantasy type portraits for you. So please contact me by email. My email address is down in the description box. Let me know what kind of fantasy portrait and or fantasy scenery you would love me to paint for you. And I always love hearing your comments. Please leave a comment and tell me which one is your favorite? Which one of my paintings is in your top favorites that you've seen today in this video? Please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back. Bye, Mrs. V. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, see you around the YouTube halls. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. We're waiting for Davy to come back, and I'm trying to figure out. Let's see, what's the next thing? Oh my goodness. I'm looking at my dragon, and I've added contrast and patterns. Let's see. The background I think needs more darks. Davy's back. Yes, I see Davy's back. Yes.
I have returned. Hello again, everyone.
Yes. Welcome back, Davy.
Thank you so much. I've just made a cup of tea.
What is it? Any special flavor of tea or just black tea?
No, it's just a tea. It's a cup of tea with some milk in.
Oh, well, I drink. My favorite tea is apple cinnamon. I love cinnamon.
Oh, very nice.
Apple cinnamon tea, and then for nighttime to help me get drowsy for sleep, I use 2 tea bags. One is the apple cinnamon, and I mix that with vanilla chamomile.
That does sound nice.
Yeah.
So vanilla.
That's the tea.
Oh,
Apple cinnamon is the tea I drink the most often.
That's great. I do drink now and again. I'll drink lemon tea.
Oh, yeah, I've had that. I don't prefer it.
You do not like lemon tea?
No, I like the orange something like the orange. It's like orange mixed
Orange
with
is
some
nice.
spices. I like the orange spice tea.
All right. I like orange full stop, to be honest with you. Anything orange is always nice for me.
And then for the first time in years, I stopped drinking caffeinated coffee because I was having a real problem with my anxiety in August. I was having a real problem with heightened anxiety. So I thought, okay, let me stop drinking coffee. Maybe that'll help. And I now for about 3 weeks now, I drink decaf coffee, which is fine with me because I don't need that extra energy. When I was working like for 28 years, a lot of I would need that energy of like caffeine and stuff because I was pretty much like sleep deprived a lot. But I don't need that extra caffeine boost anymore. I don't miss caffeinated coffee at all, but I like the flavor of coffee, so I do like my decaf coffee, which tastes the same to me. I just don't need the caffeine.
You're right. I like coffee, I must say. I really like coffee.
Oh yeah, and we have. Oh yeah, with now, my husband somehow found out that the best hot chocolate there is called Stevens hot chocolate, and he bought some. And now I put sometimes I put 2 spoonfuls of the hot chocolate into my decaf coffee and make mocha.
Right. Hot chocolate's nice as well. Hot chocolate, really nice.
Yeah, but I really like the mocha too. Mocha
Is that, do you have cookies? Do you like cookies?
Yes. Chocolate chip cookies are my favorite. Actually, my husband has a friend who one of his hobbies is baking, and he makes the best chocolate chip cookies in the world.
Oh, that's awesome.
And every now and then he brings home a box of homemade cookies that this guy has made. And he puts a little bit of raisins. I would have never thought that would help, but he puts a little bit of raisins in with the chocolate chip cookies, and it like, I don't really taste the raisins, but it must add something to it. I don't know why, but yeah, my favorite cookies are chocolate chip.
We call them biscuits in the UK. Biscuits.
Yeah, but what do you call so we call biscuits rolls, like dinner rolls.
Really?
We call them biscuits.
So that would be a biscuit. You see, a chocolate chip cookie, we would call a biscuit. Plus, like Jaffa cakes. Have you heard of Jaffa cakes?
Oh yeah, Jaffa. I've had Jaffa cakes. Yes.
What about jammy Dodgers?
I think so, because in the international cookie, and there is an international section for cookies in the grocery store, and I've had all those kind of different international cookies.
Yeah, I love cookies. What you would call cookies.
Yeah.
And we call biscuits. So fantastic. Can I just say another big thank you to Laura, because she's just subscribed to my channel. So thank you so much, Laura. I will subscribe to your channel as well, okay, in return. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's nice. I thought, isn't Laura one of your Instagram friends?
I'm not too sure. I don't think she is.
So, Laura Gonzalez, where do I know you from? Probably from
Laura
another
Gonzalez.
channel, right?
She does sound very familiar, I've got to say. But Laura has been on here before. I'm positive.
Oh, okay.
I'm positive we have chatted to Laura. Laura, are you on Instagram? Lexi said, oh my goodness, don't give me ideas on how to make more sugary drinks. Now,
yeah, I don't drink the
I have
mocha
to
coffee
try
every
that.
day.
What?
I probably would if I thought of it. I don't think. Sorry, go ahead. What?
I think Lexi likes, by the sounds of it, likes hot chocolate. The chocolate.
Right.
But that's my guess.
Who doesn't
Lexi
like hot chocolate?
Bye, VS. If you're still there.
Yeah, she left while you were on your break.
All right, she's gone.
Mrs. V, yes.
I missed her.
Actually, she's an American that specializes in the royal family. Her whole channel is about the royal family.
Never. Oh dear me, it's great.
And she's doing very well.
We've got a new king.
Her channel's very popular.
Oh hey, I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
We have a new king. I don't know if anybody watched any of the coronation where King Charles was crowned.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that interested, to be honest with you. I am not a royalist. I like some of them, but most of them I don't like. But so I'm not too keen on the royal family. But I don't like the history. I like the history side of
Yeah.
things concerning the royals. I'm sure the Netherlands have got a royal family. Oh, it's buffered. It's buffering. Lexi said, the only thing stopping me from drinking more hot chocolate is the effort to make it. If I if I can throw it in my coffee, that barrier has gone and I'm in trouble. So she does like hot chocolate. I wonder if Lexi likes cookies or different kinds of cookies or biscuits, as we say in the UK, like jammy dodgers and Jaffa cakes, and because the UK eats a lot of biscuits or cookies. They're very popular.
So a dinner roll you would also call a biscuit?
No, a dinner roll would just call a dinner roll, or a you know, a dinner
So
roll.
we call them rolls too, like a dinner roll. We would just call it a roll, but
Yeah,
I'm trying to
roll.
think, what do we call biscuit? The biscuit would be like, we would call a biscuit something made with like biscuits and
Like
gravy.
wheat or something, or flour.
Like it's like a southern dish, biscuits and gravy. We actually don't use the word biscuits that much. Like in the South, they
Right,
do like biscuits and gravy kind of dish.
right. Yes. Yeah, there is different meanings for biscuits, and it goes way back, of course. Aha, Lexi said, of course, I like cookies. Of course she likes cookies. If she likes hot chocolate, she likes cookies. So there we go. Now I might turn this sketch, right? I'll just show you so far what I've done on this sketch. Let's have a little look.
Yeah, hold on. Let me put you in the highlight.
I'll just turn it a little bit, just to get this in here. Whoops. There we go. Let's get it down there a little bit. So that's what I've done so far. I've just got the end of the wings to complete. Yeah. Maybe I could show its feet, its legs, and its claws. Yeah.
Yeah.
I may add them in, but I think I might actually use this and turn it into a painting. Okay, I might do a painting of this.
Oh, you mean you might paint on that? Did you say you're going to paint on that?
Yes, I might use this as a painting. What I would normally do is, once I've completed the sketch, I'll get some tracing paper, place it over this, then trace the image, trace around the dragon. Then I'll transfer that onto a sheet of watercolor paper,
Right.
and I'll do a watercolor painting of this. See how it goes. I've got a nasty habit of scrapping paintings because they don't turn out right the first attempt.
Well, you could
So
always keep them for a while and come back to them.
yes, I could do. I've done that a few times,
You
but
know, do you
sometimes
know do you know the artist Archil Gorky?
no, I don't.
Well, he's he's not, I mean, he's not living anymore. He's like a master abstract. He's considered one of the masters of abstract. And
Right,
Gorky said he never when you finish a painting, he never finishes a painting because, I mean, how would he say? He says he doesn't finish a painting because then it's dead.
right. Oh God, that's a strange way of thinking about it, isn't it?
To think of it,
Completing an
it's
art.
dead if you finish it. So
Right, so he keeps it
there's
alive.
yeah, there's and which it's kind of like a paradox. It's kind of like it's just a fine line to know, like, when is something overdone, when is it overdone, and when is it finished, when is it finished a good finish, and when is
Yes.
it a bad stop. Or you could say you're just gonna decide to stop, and it can be a good stop or a bad stop. Like a good stop where, and there's artists like abstract artists that I've heard about, or any artists, their work will be hanging up in the show, and they'll say, oh no, I just want to keep adding this, I want to add this to it, I want to add that to it. They want to keep, and
Yeah.
and like years later they might even still add to the painting.
Right. Isn't this a big problem with a lot of artists, especially beginners?
A problem?
It seems to be a problem that they have, and it's a question that a lot of artists ask. When do I know? When do I know or realize that my painting or drawing is finished?
Well, I think that's really easy to know when you paint realistic, like drawing or painting realistic. I think
Yes.
it's like that. Then you really know. Like you pretty much, that's like easy to know whether you're finished or not.
Yes.
If an abstract, or even if it's like if it's representational and it has abstract elements, then it's harder, or completely abstract, it's harder to know it's harder to know where the stop is.
Do you think abstract can go on forever and you could just be adding to it, changing things?
Good, maybe, yeah.
One of my favorite, I'm not really knowledgeable on abstract artists, but my favorite, I can tell you who my favorite is right away. Kandinsky.
Oh yeah, he's considered. Some people consider him the father of abstract, but not everybody.
Yes, he is fantastic. I love his images. Some not everything that he's produced that I've seen, but some of his works I absolutely love. Kandinsky. Some corking paintings, I must say. Paintings where he explores music, sound and stuff.
Inspired by music.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think he done one called Yellow, Red, Blue, maybe, or maybe it's not in that order. And that is one of my favorite paintings.
Wow. I know of Kandinsky, but he's not one of my favorites, but I understand the importance of him and stuff. But I don't.
Yes.
I haven't looked at his work recently, and
I would check him out again, and have a little look.
Yeah.
He's well worth a look. Kandinsky.
Oh yeah, and didn't he write the book The Spiritual of Painting or something?
I'm not too sure. I don't know a great deal about Kandinsky. But
I think he might have written this book called The Spiritual of Painting.
Yeah. But like I said, some of his paintings are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm sure there's a really good documentary on YouTube on Kandinsky, which I'll have to watch.
Right.
I'll have to have a look at that. Now, can I just say something about this sketch and what's going through my mind what I was thinking about? Okay, when I started this sketch, I had something in mind, even though it's not a copy of it. It's certainly not a copy of it, but I always have this in mind when I'm sketching a dragon, because one of my favorite films, fantasy films, which involves a dragon, is a film called Dragon Slayer.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm trying to capture in this sketch the dragon, not that particular dragon and how it looks, but the way it flies or moves. Okay, so this is influenced, I would say, by the Dragon Slayer. Dragon. If you haven't seen that film, it's well worth watching. It's a fantastic.
What's it about?
It's about a dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely fantastic. I seen it at the cinema when I was about 11 or 12. When I was about 12 years old at the cinema, the local cinema. And you don't really see much of the dragon until halfway through. You only see small parts of it, like its tail or the horns.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
and it's
see.
very creepy. It's a very creepy film. It's really well done.
So it's a movie from like the 60s or 70s?
It's a movie, I think it was made in 1981. Okay, 1981.
Uh-huh.
And it's such a good film. I think if you watch it now, the special effects are dated. And I think they should remake the special effects. It was fantastic back then in 1981, but now
Okay.
I think they can do a lot better now with the special effects. But the dragon itself, which they call, I think it's Vermithrax pejorative, it's called, the dragon. It's a real nasty dragon. And it's an awesome film. Well worth a watch, Dragon Slayer.
Wow.
Of course, there was a very popular movie, Braveheart. Sorry, not Braveheart. Dragonheart, sorry.
Hmm.
Braveheart's the Scottish Highlander movie with Mel Gibson. So Dragonheart, sorry. Sean Connery was the voice of the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And Dennis Quaid was the knight who befriends the dragon. Have you seen that one?
No.
That's well worth a watch. Dragonheart.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of movies that contain dragons.
Yeah.
Dragon Slayer, Dragonheart. I think there's a few other ones. Of course, there's the Hobbit film. Smaug the Dragon, which is in the Hobbit, which is probably the most recent dragon to appear in a movie.
It was in the Hobbit movie, you said?
Yeah, the Hobbit movie. The dragon's called Smaug. Smaug the Dragon. Yeah. And that's quite a nasty dragon. It's an evil dragon.
Mm. Well,
Now I'm thinking about.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was just having a few thoughts on the fairy themed live stream you're going to do. And now that's going to be tricky. I don't know. I haven't done many fairies, to be honest with you. So that will be particularly tricky for me.
Doing the dragon was tricky for me.
Yeah. Did you find that a little bit tricky? Creating the dragon?
Yeah, so, I mean,
You've certainly textured it there. You can see a from the image what I'm
Yeah, I don't
looking
know
at.
where to go next. I tried playing with contrasts and stuff, and then I toned down the background because the background I thought got too busy was fighting with a dragon because I'm doing like the same kind of technique inside the dragon.
Mhm.
So then I darkened the background more. I added white and red and orange to the dragon, and then
Yes.
I kind of I don't know where to go next. Like spatter painting, but that's got messy. I could do some because I'm going for an abstract dragon.
Right.
Yeah, so like trying to keep the dragon form, but
Yes.
trying to like just do
I see. You could
yeah.
use if you've got a marker, you could do some line work in it, I
Yeah,
suppose.
I do have markers. I have acrylic paint markers. I use that for the white, but my vision, I have to see, I have to go like this, and it blocks the camera.
Right.
And I don't know what, and I did do some line work in here. If you want to look closer, I did too, but I just didn't want to do dragons. I wasn't trying to go for dragon scales.
All right.
I gave the effect of dragon scales. Or let's see
Yes.
what so people can see what I'm talking about. I was giving the
Excuse me.
effect of dragon scales. Can you see more what I'm
Uh-huh.
talking about?
Well, I like the colors are fantastic. The color's great,
Yeah.
and the texture from what I can see.
Yeah, I
From
built up a
where
lot of layers. I use this stencil. I use this stencil
yes,
with different colors many
yes, I
times.
like that.
With black, I used white, I used red. I have many
Mhm.
layers, and then I did a layer of just purple paint, and
Yeah,
then I added white marker details. Also, I
yeah,
also did black. I did black through the stencil. I added many layers, and then I worked a lot on it, and it's like and a lot of times I can't keep working on something. I have to give it a break and look at it with fresh eyes to know what to
right.
do next.
Ah, right. Well, it looks very interesting to me. I love the color and the texture. I think you've got it. You've got the texture going good.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I have a lot to show with my fairy art journal.
Right. And that's the fairy work.
But that's not our next month is Halloween. Next month we'll be coming back. We will
Yes.
be live streaming instead of on the Thursday. We're always going to be live streaming one of the days during the last week of every month, and it's usually going to be the last Thursday of every month. But Halloween falls on a Tuesday, so we will be live streaming on Tuesday, October 31st, right on Halloween.
That's great. So it's going to be a spooky live stream this.
Yeah, back with our. Do you have more stories to tell us?
I certainly do. I can certainly tell a ghost story.
Yeah, so we will be back with Davy's true
A
horror
true ghost
story.
story. Yeah. I'll have to have a good think about the ghost stories, see what I can come up with. I've been told I always. Did I tell the story about the vending machine woman
No,
who came,
I don't think you
who was
did.
changing her vending machine, and she went to the bathroom about 4 o'clock in the morning
No.
at a university, okay, university vending machine woman. Did I tell you that one?
No. So you can tell us
Right.
that next month.
I could tell you that one next month. It's a very short story, but I can also tell another one which is linked to that from somebody else who told us. Okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Quite a creepy story, I must say. but you will find out on Halloween what happens to the lady, the vending machine lady. I had to actually seek this woman out because I was told there was a ghost had been sighted. So I had to search for this woman so I could contact her, find her to tell us the story. And she told us this story. Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna you have to contact her again to remember the
Yes,
details.
I had to find her. I was told, Dave, there's a ghost being sighted. Blah blah blah. Somebody's seen a ghost. It was this lady. So I searched her out, found who she was, and asked her about the ghost story. Could she tell us it? And she told us the whole story. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a very short story. It's not a long, drawn-out story. It's very short.
So you'll have a few stories for us?
A couple, yes, 2 stories, which involves the same location, but 2 stories told by 2 different people from the same place,
From the same event?
yes. So this
Oh.
place is it's got a few tales, haunted tales. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I hope you like the stories. And these are from real people, stories from real people who have apparently, so they've said, so they've stated, apparently witnessed paranormal activity. Okay. So they've seen things unusual and quite scary as well. Because this lady was quite shocked when this, well, I'll explain it on the day, on Halloween.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to everybody has to come back for that.
For Halloween. It's going to be a good one, Halloween.
Right on Halloween Day. Halloween night for you. It'll be Halloween Day here on the East Coast, USA. 3 p.m.
Yes.
We'll start it at 3 p.m. But it'll
Right.
be Halloween night for other people
About
around
7,
the world. Anyway, your country celebrates Halloween, is that right?
It does, the same as you. It's exactly the same. And I think the United States influenced greatly how we celebrate Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the United States turned it into a big event, and we followed. I think the UK did. We did get influenced by the United States. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the Halloween front. We've always celebrated Halloween, but not on the scale as what the United States has celebrated it. But now it's even bigger now in the UK.
The US is the one that made it a bigger holiday.
I think so, yes. And we were influenced by it. So it's even bigger now in the United Kingdom.
I'm looking up winged dragon just so I could draw in some details of this dragon, but
yes, get some reference. I use a lot of reference.
I know, that's what I'm trying to find, but the picture that I used was just a silhouette, so I can't. So now I have to find something similar to that.
Mm-hmm. Do you use a lot of reference material, Diana?
Yeah.
Me too. I use a lot of it.
You do?
Oh yes, I get a lot of reference material by using Google Images.
Well, I do too, but see, with the Google Images, you got to be careful because they're not copyright free. So I use
Yeah.
Pixabay, pixabay.com. You can get copyright free video, copyright free music, copyright free illustrations, photographs.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's all copyright free. Pixabay.com.
The ones I use on Google Images, I change quite a bit, or I'll pick one little element and I use it as reference. I don't copy it directly.
Okay, you do. Yeah, I see. So you use it loosely as a reference.
So you would never guess. You would never be able to tell.
I try to do that too, right? When
Yeah.
right,
Elf Lord's art and
Lord
James.
Journey's here. Oh, hi, Elf Lord.
Yes. Hello, Elf. It's good to see you.
Yeah, Elf Lord, we're going to be doing. Davey's going to be my guest host for once a month live stream. It's going to be always the last week of the month, usually the last Thursday. But the next time we live stream will be right on a Halloween. That's going to be Tuesday. So come back for our next, because we're winding this one up. But our next live stream is going to be right on Halloween Day, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Davey has true spooky stories to tell us, because we've been doing Halloween, and we did Halloween in July, we did Halloween in August live stream, and then September now we're doing dragons, and then we're going to do Halloween, and then in November we're going to do fairies, and then because I started a fairy art journal a few years ago that I'm going to continue working in during the live stream, and then we don't know what our other themes are going to be, but we're always live streaming around the last Thursday of each month, except for next month, which is on Halloween.
I think Elf's had to go because he's got chores to do. I think he's going to be washing up the dishes.
Thanks for stopping in a little bit.
And he's going to be washing the dishes, I think. So he's got some chores to do. I am now trying to think what to do on this. I'm thinking about putting legs, showing some legs, some claws, but I'm not too sure. Or somehow adding a tail to this. Let's just move this a little bit here. Let's move it up a little bit. Oops. I wonder if I could just move this down like that. That's a little bit better. I think we can see that now. The other part of the wing of the dragon. When I first started drawing dragons, I used to use a lot of reference photos of bats in particular.
Yes.
So me dragons from like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, had bats' wings. There was a lot of, and I used to copy the bat's wings as close as I could as well. So bats
you wouldn't use dragon as your reference? How come you didn't use like a dragon as your reference?
Like a painting of a dragon or something, or what I did use for my first dragons. What I would normally do is look at lizards. I used to have a great reptile book. This is before the internet, okay? Before Google Images and stuff. I used to have some nature books, okay, wildlife books. And I used to use these wildlife books as reference material, yeah? Reference photos. Yeah. And one of them was one of these books was a reptile book. And I used to use that quite a lot to create dragons, or try to create dragons using it. And I would also use bat photos from my books to copy the wings and stick those bat wings on the reptiles. So that's what I used to use, but now I don't use any reference at all for dragons.
Hi, Jordan. Jordan Mahoney coming to us from Ireland is here. He's one of my blind YouTuber friends.
Right. Hello. Oh. Hello, Jordan.
He's curious. What process of drawing the dragon? Wait, let's see. I'm curious. What's your process of drawing the dragon? Then he sees. I mean, your process of drawing or painting a dragon. That's what I'll be talking. I mean, oh yeah, the process for. Well, I'll tell you my process. That what I did was I don't draw dragons hardly at all. So what I did was I found a copyright-free silhouette picture. It was just only the silhouette of a winged dragon, and I made a photocopy of it. Then I cut it out, and then I glued it to black paper. And then I'm doing an abstract dragon. So I have the form, I have the silhouette of the dragon, but I have done a lot of textures with stencils to build up layers of different designs and designs on the dragon and different colors. So it's mainly purple, red, and black. And now I just recently added some white details of scales and details in the wings of the dragon. And so mine's more abstract, and Davey's is very realistic. Davey is I'm using acrylic ink, acrylic paint markers, acrylic paint, and collage. And Davey's using a black ink micron pen. So do you want to? He draws first in pencil, but Davey, you want to explain your process?
Yeah, sure. So this is how I tackle it. My drawing process for dragons is purely out of me head. Okay.
That's after years of studying. I mean, drawing dragons by references, right?
Yes. So
after years of doing
many years ago, many years ago, I used a lot of photo references of reptiles, and when you look at a lot of those photographs, those images tend to stick in your head over the years, and they accumulate. You know what a scale looks like, and you know what a dragon's eye looks like. So if you do this continuously, which I did, then you get to a stage where hopefully you can actually put the reference photos away and attempt and hopefully come out with a decent image. So the first thing I do is start sketching ahead. Now, fortunately, I feel okay. I feel quite happy about this head. It came out quite good, so I've kept it. But quite often, I will make a mess of the first initial sketching, and I'll have to start again. So it's that kind of process. It's let's put something down on the paper. Do you like it? Do you not like it? If you don't like it, then it gets ripped up, put in the bin, and I'll start again. But fortunately for this live stream, this has turned out okay. It was my first attempt. And for the horns, you just look at lots of horns, and over the years, reindeer antlers, rhinoceros horns, things like that. Yeah, and you end up, being very familiar with what a horn looks like, so you can change the shape. It's a very simple shape, horns. Yeah, very simple shape. So there's nothing difficult about drawing a horn. And horns are a major feature usually of a dragon. And that's my drawing process. Start with the head, sketch in the neck, and I'm doing very light line work, sketching it in very lightly with this pen, which is a biro pen. Yeah. And once I've sketched it in very lightly and I'm happy with the image, then I would use something like this, okay, or a gel pen. Now this pen here produces a very dark line, and I would go over the light sketch with this, and this will create more detail, okay. And I use a very scribbly technique, okay. Lots of scribbles to suggest detail, scales, and what have you, yeah. And that's me. That's what I do. That's how I tackle a dragon drone. But reference is
Thank you for sharing that and
Yep.
making it very visually descriptive for Jordan.
Yep. I hope that explains things.
Yeah, Jordan, we're doing a Davey's my artist guest every month. We live stream usually the last Thursday of every month, but next month Halloween falls on a Tuesday, so we're doing our live stream on right on Halloween Day. I hope you come join us. It'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time USA, but there's a time change, and I think that means that's going to be 7 p.m. your time, because that's right when your clocks change and ours haven't, or ours something like that. There's a few days where the UK changes and we haven't, or you haven't. I can't remember, but it's right around that time. So instead of a 5-hour difference, I think Halloween is a 4-hour. It might be 7 p.m. your time on that particular day instead of 8 p.m. It'll be. But anyway, keep a heads up for the schedule. I'll schedule it like a few weeks ahead of time, and then in November we'll do it. I don't know. I think we're shooting for the last Thursday in November, and our theme is going to be fairies, because I started a fairy art journal a few years ago, and that I'm going to continue working on.
And that's going to be very tricky for me because I haven't drawn a lot of fairies. So this is something that is quite, well, I would have to say quite new. It's unlike dragons. I've drawn a lot of dragons. I can sketch them out okay. But fairies is something else. So I'm going to have to try and plan something.
Yeah, I don't draw fairies often, but I'm going to have to look back in my fairy art journal and figure out what I'm going to be doing. But you don't do digital art, Davey?
What, sorry, Diana?
You don't do digital art ever?
Oh yes, I do a lot of digital art.
Oh, you do?
I'm working on. Well, we discussed this. I don't know if you can remember.
Maybe you'll jog my memory. Hold on, just say.
Can you remember? It was the first live stream, I think. So it was some time ago. And you said you used Procreate.
Yes.
And then I said I use Art Rage.
Right.
Okay, which is a very
Art Rage. I've heard of it,
but simple. Yeah, it's quite simple. Art Rage.
Really,
it's
I think
very
I looked
nice
at
to
it and
use.
thought it didn't look simple. I'll just stick to Oh no! In addition to Procreate's my main one, and I have used other apps to get other effects. Art Rage is not one of them. Like, I use Procreate in addition to several other art apps that complement it when I want certain kinds of effects, like certain kind of lighting effects. I have one that's called, like, you get these really crazy kind of lighting effects, and that one has something to do with lighting. And then there's one that when you want to transform a picture into a line drawing, or give it make it look like an oil painting, or make it look like, like 50 different effects you can give to a picture. There's that one, and I forget what it's called. And yeah, there's a bunch of ones that I use in that I sometimes complement with Procreate, but I looked at Art Rage and kind of felt like I couldn't figure it out. So
it takes some time to learn, but I've been using Art Rage for, oh dear me, it's an old. The version I've got is Artrage Studio Pro, and I must have had that for about 10 years, 8 years maybe, 8 years. And I use a Wacom tablet as well, and I've had that for a long time. So these are out of date products. I need to upgrade them.
But you're still able to use them even though they're not updated?
Oh yes, they're perfectly fine. They produce fantastic stuff. I'm going to post a video very soon, and it's going to be a compilation video of digital art that I've created on Artrage. So maybe in a month's time, 4 weeks' time, when I've finished off what I'm doing on Artrage, digital-wise, I'm going to edit them into a video, a compilation video, so you can see what kind of effect you can get from Artrage. It's Artrage tries to mimic or replicate real, like traditional painting techniques, but digital. Yeah, so you've got to, it's like real painting. It's very much like you're painting with real paint.
Yeah, so is Procreate. And you get all these brushes and stuff. I get extra brushes from brush designers.
Great.
There's one brush designer I like in particular. I've gotten tons of her brushes to.
Yeah. The good thing, the thing I love about digital art is that there's no drying time. There's no mess.
You can instantly change things around. Like I want to try this color. I want to try that color. I want to instantly like change this. Oh, I wonder what if it will look like if I do this or that. Like you can instantly change effects so fast that I do. That's how I do all my compositions are all done for my acrylic paintings. I do them digital first. I figure out the composition all the time in digital, and then I do it in acrylic or mixed media.
That's awesome. I mean, you can use digital art. It is fantastic. I think it's great. I was very unsure.
The only downside is that people don't to buy a piece of digital art. You're really buying a print. You're buying a print. Like it has to be printed out mechanically. It's not handmade. That's the only thing I don't like about digital art is that, and a lot of people don't understand it, that you're not getting handmade art. So when you go to print it out, if somebody likes your digital art, well, they're going to have to get like a print on canvas or a print on paper.
Yes.
But do you know anything about NFTs?
What's that?
Non-fungible tokens, which is
art. Yeah.
That's where digital art can live. That's where if people want to buy your NFT, then it doesn't matter that it's digital art.
Right.
Because the art has to be digitized anyway. The art has to be digitized anyway to be an NFT.
Right, an NFT. I'll have to look into that.
That's like the new thing of frontier of art. NFT and then there's a lot of scams on Instagram and Facebook, especially Instagram, where you get messaged by somebody saying, "Oh, I love your art. I really love your art." And it turns out they're a scammer and they want to buy, and they'll say, "I want to buy your art as an NFT," but it's a total scam. Like, so you have you don't sell your NFTs through a third person. You sell your NFTs from your own site, and usually OpenSea. OpenSea is the biggest website for NFTs.
Right.
I tentatively started looking into like opening my own website but it gets complicated and it gets exhausting for me to like do everything through my magnifying glass to research these things. So I just that's something I've tentatively looked into. I know some artists they do offer some of their art as NFTs.
Right.
And then OpenSea is so far the best, the most popular and biggest website to offer your NFTs right now on.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a little look into this.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't know anything about really.
Oh, okay. I only know a little bit about it. But beware of the scams on Instagram, people telling you, oh, I love your art and I'd like to buy it as an NFT. It's like, no, most time, and they do that on Facebook too. They're all scammers.
Right. Yeah, you got to beware. There's always someone trying to con you, isn't there? To be honest with you. But the thing about your digital art, right? Do you know when you create it and you sell it as a print, you're also selling the idea. Yeah.
Right.
So you've had to create that, and that's your idea. So it comes from your head. So even though they're getting the print, they're buying your idea, your image that you have created. But I absolutely love digital art, and it's great fun, and it's very enjoyable. And if you make a mistake, a major mistake, you just click that button back.
I know, that's what I love.
And the mistake is gone. That's one of the major elements of digital art that I absolutely love.
Well, what
You
I love
cannot
about it
really-
most is I can try out all different colors and textures and techniques.
Yes.
And like instantly change things if they don't work. Whereas an acrylic painting, you're painting and like, well, what if I change the whole color scheme of this? I'm like, oh
Yes.
my goodness. Well, that's going to take you maybe another 2 hours to change the whole color scheme.
Yeah.
To try it out. That's why I love digital art. Like, oh, I want to change the whole color scheme of this. I can do it within within a minute and change the color scheme and test that out.
And another thing as well that you've got to think about in relation to what you've just said there, right, about testing colour schemes out. Now imagine doing that with real paint, right? Imagine how much paint you would have to use and you'd have to buy in tube form to test all of this out.
Right. I go through my paint very slowly as it is. So that I know that, well, that wouldn't bother me as much because and so far, like recently I've been painting small but for my show that I had for my 9-month residency, almost all my paintings were 30 by 40 inches. I did go through my paint a little bit faster then, but I don't have room to keep painting 30 by 40 inches. So now, and the venue that I mostly sell my art at is through the online art auction where for shipping purposes, I keep my artwork at the smallest 16 by 20 or smaller,
right.
to 8 by 10 or 9 by 12 to 16 by 20. That's just the most right now. That's just the best size for me right now because I can't keep painting 30 by 40s right now.
That's awesome. That's great.
So
Diana, I think I'm just about done.
Yeah, this was a longer live stream. So next time, everybody who's listening, we're live streaming every month, usually in the last week of the month. Usually it'll be a Thursday, the last Thursday of the month. But next month it's going to be the last Tuesday of the month because that's Halloween, and we're going to be live streaming right on Halloween day or night, depending on where you are in the world. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. Yeah, and with Halloween theme and art with Davey's storytelling, and his storytelling is spooky true stories that have been passed down to him through his family and friends.
Yes, true ghost stories to get everybody in the mood for Halloween.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being a guest today. And
it's been a pleasure, Diana. It's been great fun. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, your dragon drawing is so awesome. So amazing.
Thank you so much. And I love yours as well, the abstract dragon.
Well, did you see, look, I added some white details.
I did, yeah, I noticed.
But I'd have to work on this more to get it more how I would want it. But
yes.
So, but for now, I would say that mine is still unfinished. So, but
I think you're onto something good there. I would like to see you complete that if you've still got some
maybe
work
in
to
a
do.
future live stream, maybe during maybe if we do mythical creatures, I might bring this back out and work on it more.
Yes, that would be interesting. Then you would have a lot of time to think of where it's going.
Yeah.
up until then.
So thank you everybody who watched today, and thank you for everybody that. Too bad we didn't have people come up on the live stream. We had a fun live stream last month. We had Raul visited us. I
Yes.
invited Raul, but I guess he was busy. Raul came
Yeah,
up on our
Raoul.
live stream last month, and
That was interesting.
Carol, your Instagram friend, she came up on our live stream.
Yes,
That was
Carrie.
fun. We had a conversation. Maybe we're gonna some
She
people will
kind of
jump up on our
previously
live
here.
stream next month on Halloween Day. We're gonna live stream right on Halloween Day.
That's going to be good. I think it's going to be a great Halloween live stream.
Yeah, storytelling and creating art. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today, Davey.
It's been my pleasure. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you for inviting us, and it's been great fun. So good night, Diana. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye everybody.
Goodbye and good night.